YouTube's been crazy delayed for me, so I'm gonna stay on this screen for a little longer until it's sure we're live. Then pop back here, and it should be fine. Best warlord, Queek, and biggest brain naked claw versus the world. Oh, poor Queek, dude.
What if better was easier than...
Alright. Cash is here. How are things? David's here. Oh, okay. Audio sounds good. We're here. What is Gladiator? First and foremost, for the people that are catching this video on demand style, Gladiator is the good. It's the real shit. So here are the new Doom Dark Ages trailer dropped, and I'm hype as fuck. Good. Here's the short version of it. There is an army that is the main character. It is Pigman 202's Beastmen. See, he has 0 gold spent. 0 gold left. We are sitting at 1,500 funds. That's 2,600 more than your average quick battles. Gotrek Starbreaker is building an army that only has the regular funds, so he needs to leave 2,600 unspent. Now, Pigman's army is larger. You might be like, well, what the fuck? What the hell? He's going to win. Yeah, probably. That is the point. We are going to follow this army, create a narrative for it, tell its story, and see how far they can make it, how long they can last, right? So Pigman did pick Beastmen. He has this army for the rest of time. Gotrek is his first opponent. He got to ban 5 factions. He banned Kislev, Empire, Tzeentch, Beastmen, and Vampire Counts. But everyone who faces him knows what Pigman is bringing. And the kind of fun part about it is, in-game, anything that shatters or dies outright gets cut from the build, and Pigman gets to spend the funds upgrading any units he currently has, like giving him chevrons or giving his lord more items or more spells. So his army gets more elite as it survives more and more battles. But he can't buy new units. So this army is going to be shrinking over time, which does add a new level of metagame here. And this is something, for anybody who's playing in it today, I would encourage you to take this to heart, because every time I do this announcement, and every time there's 1 or 2 people that don't fully get it, treat yourselves like wolves chasing down a moose. Don't just try to 1v1 the moose. You are just a wolf. You'll run up to it, you'll fucking die, and get nothing done. Go for a leg. Get a couple bites. Wound it so that your next member can come in and wound it further until it's absolutely almost dead, and then someone goes in for the kill. Too many times I've seen people try to just fight straight up man-to-man honorable combat with the enemy army, and the enemy army is just bigger, and it's just going to win. But it's like, focus on shattering those units. Focus on killing those units. Don't let them get off the map. If they get off the map without shattering, they're fine. They'll come back the next battle, right? You really got to wear this down. So I've seen too many times where people just spread their damage across the whole army, and it's like, well, everybody lived, so the army's the exact same strength the next game. What if I'm a really special wolf? It's true, dude. It's true. How'd you make Queek viable? Anybody wants a hot dog? You boys making some? I wish. I do have to get to the narrative really quickly, so the super quick answer of the Queek stuff, I would give him, you know, Scarbrand's ramping thing, where the more stuff he kills, he gets more damage, and like Scragg's Cauldron of the Great Maw that ramps. I would give him some kind of ramping leadership and melee attack for his army. The longer he's in melee combat and no one deals with him. And you get the hard choice. I would make it global. Where you get the hard choice of either try and snipe out Queek and finally fight him, because his problem is that he's a foot duelist that no one fights, they just ignore him. Or if you don't fight him, then this whole army gets really strong. Anyway, I gotta do the narrative thing here, so we're about to start. So Malagor, Dark Omen, leader of the Beastmen hordes, but a bird, goes to his best buddy, the Eye of More Sleep, and he says, Eye of More... What? Sorry, I gotta get in the voice. Eye of More Sleep, what do you foresee for me in the future? And the Eye of More Sleep says, we gotta go to Ulthuan. We gotta kill some elves. Elves need to die. We're going to Ulthuan, bitch. And he grabs his skinned potato that he was about to throw into the pot to make some potato soup and waltzes off towards Ulthuan. Malagor thinks this is a great idea, gets his horde together, and they all head over to Ulthuan. They get here, and they're ready to raid this beautiful city. The elven defenders inside were unprepared for a Beastmen horde to show up on their shores, but what do they run into other than a different horde? Warriors of Chaos from the north coming down to raid Ulthuan, break some of those lodestones that keep the vortex going and winds of magic contained in the world. This demon prince of Slaanesh wants to free his demonic brothers by bringing down the high elves and opening the winds of magic. Malgor, the prophecy didn't say shit about Warriors of Chaos, so he's going to eliminate these fools before taking the High Elf outpost. Alright, should be good to go. And we're off. For the builds themselves, this is the build that you'll be seeing an awful lot of. We have 4 Pestigors for frontline, some Ungor herds as well, 5 Ungor raiders, the archers, then 4 Centaurs, all of them regular, Malagor Dark Omen. For now, he has Flock of Doom, but as his troops die, he can give himself more spells. We have triple Minotaurs, 2 with great weapons, 1 is Butcher's Calcan Guard, and we have the Eye of Moresleep ROR Sigor. On the other side, for the Warriors of Chaos, Gotrek brought the Demon Prince of Slaanesh with Phantasmagoria and Pavane. Then he has 3 Marauder Horsemen, 2 Rot Knights, one of which is the Rotting Riders. We have a Chaos Warshrine of Nurgle for a little bit of healing as it scales. Then a Sorcerer of Death. With just a Rod of Corruption, he's just a mana battery for the Slaanesh caster. I'm a little concerned about the killing power of these Warriors of Chaos, but we'll see what they can do. Everyone just wants to be the ones to kill elves. Sigor is currently throwing at the Rotting Riders. Not doing too much damage to them. I think they have rather impressive damage resistance. Yeah, 15% plus some armor is pretty good. Pestigors will beat up on Marauders quite easily. And in comes the Rampage from the Minotaurs with great weapons. It looks like Slaanesh is going all in on trying to kill these guys. The Rotting Riders are also in. And that appears to be the point. Rampage something, kill the shit out of it, and then reset and repeat as much as you are able until this game is lost. Once again, the Warriors of Chaos know they're probably not going to win this. They're just completely outmatched in funds, but they can try and get some picks in, as already we have the Pestigor routing and the Minotaurs Great Weapons routing. But the problem is going to be that the Pestigors have plenty of allies to retreat through, and the Warriors of Chaos can't quite get back there and really chase them down and run them into the ground. So we'll see how much actually gets done here, as a Phantasmagoria is coming down to reduce the leadership of everybody, netting them in place. But can anybody anywhere, get around to the backside and clean up these Pestigors, or maybe even sneak someone by to get Ungor Raiders? You could shatter them pretty easily. Minotaurs are routing. Demon Prince of Slaanesh is up in the sky, but what does he choose to do with his time as all these archers are shooting him? So far, nothing has shattered. But in the backfield, the Centaur is taking a shocking amount of damage from the Marauder Horsemen. Other Centaurs of Pigman are coming to bail him out. Remember, can't allow anything to get shattered, or he's going to have to cut it. But the Demon Prince is coming back here, and he's going to rout that guy. Now, if the Marauder Horsemen, if any of them can chase those guys off while using fire at will, they could certainly kill that Centaur, or at least shatter it. There it goes! It is shattered! 1 Centaur cut from the build. I will have to remember that. So already Gotrek achieving his aims. Another Centaur is going to rout. Can the Marauder Horseman chase it down? Or maybe the Demon Prince. He was doing pretty well against that other Centaur earlier. Warriors of Chaos falling very far behind the balance power. No one is shocked, though Pigman's archers are making a bit of a clump. The Marauder Horsemen are starting to move in, but the Centaurs look like they're retreating away through their own archers, which is where the Warriors of Chaos have had issues tracking them whatsoever. What are you doing? That was weird. Dog just tried to eat the carpet for a second. Warriors of Chaos on their last legs. Looks like army losses is coming for them soon, as this Marauder Horseman is making a desperate bid to try and shut down that Centaur. Won't be the case, as it runs through Minotaurs that should be able to peel for it, and 1 Marauder Horseman won't be able to beat up these Minotaurs and Pestigors. So it looks like game 1 will just be 1 Centaur cut unless something crazy happens in the next couple seconds here. Finally managed to catch you live. What up, Vincent Red? Is Ward Save the only difference with the ROR Rot Knights? Yeah, that and Terror, I think. Marauder Horsemen doing their best to skirmish a little bit. And now, Gotrek has a decent position on this backfield. The problem is his army losses coming for him. If he can somehow stave off army losses, he might be able to get 1 more unit. is that is a Pavane of Slaanesh rampaging the Minotaurs straight into the Chaos War Shrine of Nurgle, but more importantly, the Demon Prince Malagor is diving in. Where is Army Losses, says Pigman. Just get me out while I still have these Minotaurs who are taking so much damage. They're not routing just yet, and they've only routed once, so they might not shatter, but they could die outright. Down to 6 models and only 1,200 HP, and the Demon Prince of Slaanesh is doing about 150 HP every swing. Could be doing more depending on his splash damage. He is going to route them again, but I don't think he's going to be able to shatter them in time. Marauder Horseman getting routed off. Somehow, man, these Minotaurs aren't routing at all. There they go for the second time. An interesting strategy would be to get your Demon Prince up into the sky. I mean, Armulus is going to hit, it won't matter. But get your Demon Prince into the sky, let them rally, and then charge them one more time and just shatter them that way. Get them through the 3 charge difference. But that'll be it. And I do believe Pigman... Oh, shit! Oh! 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 I need to see the skull! I need to see the skull! They shattered! Hey! They shattered at the last second! The Demon Prince of Slaanesh refused to give in to Army Losses until the exact moment that Minotaur shattered. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. All right, Cash is up next. That Demon Prince was like, fuck it. I don't know why those Minotaurs came back. Like, the Demon Prince was right there. I assume it was because army losses happened, so they just rallied anyway. But, like, there was a Demon Prince right in their face. Alrighty. So Pigman cut one of his Minotaurs, one of his Centaurs, and he now has 1,900 gold to spend as he pleases on the units he already has. Could be more spells and abilities for Malagor. Could be chevrons across the board. We will see what he ends up doing with it. I will change the map based on what his next opponent picks. But his next opponent is Johnny Cash from our Discord. So I will wait to see what faction he picks into this Pigman build, but he knows exactly what the build is. Kislev, Empire, Tzeentch, Beastmen, and Vampire Counts were Pigman's bands. And I can't remember what I thought to myself when I said out loud, but yes, I will change the map depending on who he picks. Where if he picks, Norska, I'll pick something in the Frozen Wastes. If he picks Tomb Kings, I'd pick a desert map, right? What do you call a Demon Prince of Slaanesh? Can you still call it a Chad? Yes. I think they're exclusively called Chads. Johnny Cash is here. What does he pick? From any faction in the game that is not banned? It's currently hovering coast. He seems to be building a Vampire Coast build, so I'm guessing he's going Coast. Alright. Is there ever an opportunity to recruit? There can be. It's a very chill format, where, I'm not gonna, just say if chat annoys me enough that we'll put new units in, but sometimes if, the story is funny or something, we'll do new units, yeah. It's just kind of the spice. We do whatever we want. Vampire Coast is building a build. So I need to find a map that the Vampire Coast would fight the Beastmen on, huh? A lot of the Vampire Coast maps aren't very good. What about the Cursed Marshes? Cursed Marshes aren't good. The Forest of the Dead. Is it the Forest or Forest of the Dead? I think it's the. That one's pretty good. It's very swampy and boggy, so it's kind of vampire coast, you know, kind of aquatic, but it's the best you can do. The Deadwood, there we go. It's the best you can do without just picking a dog shit ass map. Alright. I don't have a blocker up because we know Pigman's build already, and I need to make sure that Mr. Cash leaves 2,600 unspent. What if the Lord dies? You have to get the generic melee Lord. Looks like he is aware as he's hovering right around 2,600. Make him fight a mirror and recruit the units that didn't shatter. There you go. Alright. Let's do this. Cash is ready. I'm ready. Oh, he unreadied. He's got tricks up his sleeve. So, Malagor, after fighting in front of the High Elf city, the Tower of Hoeth, he starts to head up. He flies towards the top of the tower, and he hits a wall. Just bam! Hits a wall. And he hits a wall. Bam! Can't get up there. And he sees Teclis at the top of this tower, and Teclis is looking down on him with all the other lore masters of Hoeth, and they're holding out their hands, and they're wiggling them, right? And you see little magic coming off. And Malagor is like, "Hey! You let me in! Hey! Hey! Hey!" And the Eye of the Morslib's on the ground, hitting on the door like, "Hey! Hey!" None of that's going their way. And Teclis says to Malagor, he says to him, "Hey, you there, filthy bird of chaos. I will let you into this tower. I will let you destroy this tower if you do but one favor for me." And Malagor goes, "Very well. What is this favor you require, good Sir Elf?" Teclis looks upon him and says, "There is a map. A map in the possession of one Luther Harkon. A map I have been trying to get my hands on for years. On this map, X marks the spot where you can go fuck yourself, sir." Malagor, being a dumb bird bitch, doesn't fully understand sarcasm or that he just got roasted, and he goes, "Very well. I shall head south to the eastern edge of Lustria, where the vampire coast reside. I shall find this Luther Harkon, I shall find his map, and I shall go fuck myself, sir." And he heads off into the ocean. His beastmen hop onto their little rafts. The Eye of Morsley, being too big for any raft a beastman could construct, just kind of doggy paddles his way over to Lustria. They land on the banks of Lustria, and what do they find but Luther Harkon, in one of his mad fits of rage, turns to his captain and says, "There are cows on the beach!" And his captain, used to all this stupid shit over the years, is like, "Yeah, sure, Luther, sure, yep, cows on the beach." And then they turn, use their little spyglass, see a beastman army walking up out of the shores, and they go, oh, well, fuck, and rally the men. Alright, here we go. Luther trying to defend his precious map for the beastman army, as we have seen before. Here they are. Now some of the Centaurs are triple gold chevron, which also does make them harder to break. Higher leadership, higher stats. On the side of the Vampire Coast, we have some sneaky bloated corpses trying to sneak around. Mourngulls on the flank, and then we have deck droppers with bombers, the Shadewraith Gunners, Queen Bess, a frontline of pirate deckhands mobs, Luther Harkon, and a Vampire Caster of the Deep, with all of their spells except for Vangeist's Revenge. Oh, there's also dogs in the Vanguard. Away we go. Dogs are revealed. by the Centaurs on the low ground. I like that. I like that the Centaurs on the low ground are like, there's dogs up there. Anyway, and just keep running forward. Queen Bess already landing shots on the Pestigors, but their spread out formation does keep them rather strong against the... Wow! Bloated Corpse went ham on the Centaur already. We didn't even see it. The Centaur looks like it might rout, but it's so close to this other Bloated Corpse, it starts to juke away. How is it not routed yet? I've seen its leadership go negative like several times. Dogs on the flank gonna try and get to some good archers. And the Centaur did manage to rally, get its shit together. Queen Bess is firing in onto these Pestigors still. The front line is in dire straits for Vampire Coast, and already the Centaurs get onto the Shade Wraith Gunners. Malagor is trying to hunt himself down a Bloated Corpse. Bloated Corpse is trying not to be hunted, but it was anyway. Morgul's starting to close in now. Bomber's still helping out. The Shade Wraith Gunners are deads. And the Centaurs have taken a lot of damage. But the Bloated Corpse was not up to the task of truly shattering them. As Queen Bess continues to fire at these Pestigors. And it is the dog show. Dogs need to get something done here. For the sake of the other contestants, they gotta shatter some archers, maybe run down the Pestigors. They gotta do something. As the deckhands mob have also reached the archers. Bombers helping out as well. And a summon is in from the Vampire Caster of Deeps, getting crabs out. What can the dogs get in the back line? About to rout some archers, but are they going to shatter them? Queen Bess is offline, so are the Shade Wraith Gunners. The entire Vampire Coast front line is dead and buried. Now it looks like the Beastmen are turning around, desperately trying to get back to defend their archers. A little bit of lag coming in, but we'll be okay. Archers are routing. And I think at this point it's important to just focus on running them down, not trying to rout anything further. Like, the dogs need to abandon this fight and just chase down stuff that's already routing. They just gotta get out of here. They've almost got these Ungor Raiders. Oh, but the Eye of War Sleep warp gazes them, trying to save the archers by netting the dogs in place, but it doesn't work. We are down an Ungor Raider, and Luther joins another dog to try and get this Ungor Raider out of the fight. 2 Ungor Raiders are down, as the Vampire Coast's plan to go all in on the archers is working. Bat's also in on it, and Morgul is trying to run them down too. Now, unlike the Demon Prince of Slaanesh, Luther is very, very healthy, so there's still a lot of time in this game before army losses hits. As the Tide Call is hitting these Ungor Raiders, Morgul's and dogs and bats, chasing down more things. We have 2 Ungor Raiders already shattered. We have a possibility for 2 more and a Pestigor. Everything else in this game, I think, is too safe. I think they'll be fine. And the dog's doing really good work in this matchup. The concept of chasing stuff down is pretty good. If these Morgul's can chase, if this Ungor Raider rallies because they're stalked... Yeah, there they go. They rally as soon as the Morgul's get their stalks. That'll actually allow them to catch up. And it's one of those few times you don't want something to rally. Pestigor is holding on strangely long. Only negative 29 leadership while that low on HP and getting chased around by dogs. Malagor is here to try and bail them out. Malagor even did buy his items? I don't see his item where he gives leadership. Morgul's caught the raiders, are going to chase them down. These other raiders are back as well. Queen Bess is actually trying to fire something somewhere. And the dogs just can't get these Pestigors, man. They don't give up. They don't give up. Pestigor's over here down to 400 HP. No chevrons and still negative 16 leadership. What is this madness as Luther dies? And these Ungor Raiders also fine on leadership. Damn, they just don't care. I have to think army losses coming soon as the Bomber Bats are heading out here for the Pestigors, trying to snipe them out. What were we at? Just 2 Ungor Raiders dead so far, completely. And Malagor and all the triple gold chevron Centaurs trying to stop the Morgul's. But it doesn't even look like the Ungor Raiders are struggling that hard, to be honest. They're just fine. The bats die. Deck droppers somehow stay alive. I mean, sorry, the Pestigors somehow stay alive. And it is 2 archers. I am so shocked that those Pestigors hung on. That was wild. That was wild. But the Beastmen army did take some more hits. They were solid snipes. The Bloated Corpse, I mean, this one went off, and it paid for itself 1.5 times over, but that Centaur really rallied and didn't go off the map. Dogs with a good flank to take out some of the archers. It was good. It was good. Well done. Well done, Mr. Cash. We're not on a first-name basis, or I would have called him Johnny. All right, lamb sauce. Oh, he took every spell except for the one he wanted on accident. All he wanted was the Lamprey's Revenge. Alright, he's going Chaos Dwarves. Chaos Dwarves, Chaos Dwarves, Chaos Dwarves, Dwarves. Black Hammer of Hashit. I need a map that's right proper depressing. Southern Chaos Waste is pretty fucking bad. Southern Chaos Wastes. There we go. So we'll have Lamb Sauce and his Chaos Dwarves coming in soon. Mr. Hobson, it's true. It's true, man. Dreadquake train incoming. We'll see. In 2 games, the Beastmen have lost a Minotaur, a Centaur, and 2 archers. Slowly but surely, they are diminishing. Lamb should be here soon. He said he's on his way. He said he's playing Chaos Dwarves. Why don't they abuse mass range to shatter some units? I don't know, sir. I don't know. Maybe you should hop in. Show us how it's done! It's the only way. Lamb Sauce is here. We'll see what he comes up with. He does have to leave 2,600 unspent. The Beastmen are ready. Use some chevrons on their Pestigors, who we already know are apparently unbreakable. Well, unshatterable. So that will make them much, much harder to deal with. Malagor is also increasingly getting more abilities and spells. He's getting scarier as time goes on. Those are some elite Beastmen. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully well. What's coming up in the week? Warpstone Cup. Stage 1 is about halfway complete. Maybe a little over halfway. That'll be done at the start of July. And then the tournament is 9 weeks total. And 5 of the 9 weeks are just stage 1, taking everybody who signed up. We had 123 people. 123 people and narrowing it down to about 60. And then stage 2 will narrow us from 60 to 8. And then stage 3 will take us from 8 to our best in the world. So. Should be good. How much looking eliminated soon? I'm 2-1 at the moment. You need 3 wins to get out of stage 1, or 3 losses to fall out of the tournament entirely. Lamb Sauce! I'm gonna message him. He spent all of his money. This is why I'm the host, so I have to ready up too to get it going. Cheater! Oh, fuck. He's ready. He's ready. Alrighty. Malagor, Dark Omen, defeats Luther Harkon, brings him to the ground, and he searches his body. He finds a pistol, which he accidentally fires right away, because he's a big, dumb, stupid beastman. And he doesn't know what a gun is. So he accidentally fires that off, spooks a couple of his Ungor raiders away. But he eventually finds what he's looking for. He finds a map. And the map has a line drawn from Luther's coast of Lustria up to the right to the Empire, then down to the Southlands, then back to the coast of Lustria where he lives, then straight up, and then a big squiggly, squirrely line all the way across to the plains of Zar, where the dreaded Chaos Dwarves live. Malagor, thinking that this is the map he has to follow, goes to all those places. He visits Marienburg briefly, gets himself a little cup of tea in a boat, takes that fancier boat down to the Southlands, where he raids a couple of Tomb Kings' crypts and gets some fancy gold, and he gives himself a little ear piercing. He looks fetching. Back to Luther Harkon's Vampire Coast, where Luther has since revived himself and all of his zombies. They get in the exact same fight again. It goes the exact same way, and Malagor beats his ass, steals the map again, remembers where he's going, goes up, does the squiggly line, ends up in the plains of Zar. Now, while he is in the plains of Zar, he sees in the distance a rising dust cloud, and he goes, huh? And he flies ahead of his army, ready to go check it out. Over there, he sees a bunch of Centaurs. I know. He sees a bunch of Centaurs, and he goes, oh, other Beastmen. Well, they should join my herd. So then he goes back to his army, and he says, hey, guys, there's more Beastmen up ahead. We're going to go recruit them. Let's fucking go. It's time to get more members of the team. But little does Malagor know, this will not be a simple recruitment effort, as those are not simple, stinky, stupid, slobbering Beastmen. These are elite warriors of the Chaos Dwarves. Bull Centaur renders. And just because CA and Games Workshop and everybody lazily put two different types of centaurs in the same game that look nearly the same, doesn't mean they are. Zatan the Black is flying aboard his Lamassu. Then we have a bunch of Bull Centaur renders with great weapons, some with dual axes, and we even have Hashed Stark Ravagers. On the ground, we do have a Burning Head Caster and Goblin Laborers. It is a mass monstrous cavalry build from the side of the Chaos Dwarves. It looks like they are not going for mass ranged, as chat was proposing. They are instead going for mass mobility. I think the idea is get something to rout and then chase it off, and you're just so much better at mobility with 5 Bull Centaur renders and then a flying caster that a couple Centaurs and Minotaurs can't contest you. I imagine that's his strategy here, to pick off some more units. Last Beastman standing. Better be the Eye of Morsley. Is it Kevin or Zatan? This is Zatan. Alright. We are in. Hash's Dark Ravagers throwing in a couple things, and Pigman is going to ride out and meet him, doesn't want to wait and get picked apart. He decides to just heavily engage this left-hand flank and get some kind of advantage as the Beastmen are trying to hold on the right-hand flank, but I think he knows what was with that angle of Burning Head. Anyway, he doesn't want to let the full mobility army dictate the pace of the game. Negative 55 leadership. Is it a shatter? No, they come back. Can anyone from the Chaos Dwarves get back there? Any of these bulls get back there and run down those Ungor Raiders, as we do have fights across the front line. Now, the Beastmen are holding pretty well. It looks like the Chaos Dwarves might have taken too honorable of an engagement. They're just engaging across the entire front line, which means the Beastmen get to deploy their entire force. Doom and Darkness is out, trying to get these Bull Centaur renders to maybe route a little ahead of their time, as the Hashed Dark Ravagers aren't committing to the melee. Right now, they're just throwing their throwing axes at the Eye of Morsleep. And over here, Centaurs are taking a lot of damage from the Bull Centaur renders, but Pestigors are backing them up. They should be okay. Zatan is out and about. Has he used his net yet? I don't know. He has 2 uses, but I don't know if he has 3 or 2 off of the very start. And yeah, the damage is getting too spread. The Beastmen aren't taking enough in any one place to really isolate something. And what can Zatan do to turn this around? What can the Burning Headcaster do to turn this around? As he throws one right down the central line. It goes off course, though. He's not going to rout anybody. So far, I haven't seen any Beastmen losses. Did they ever buff the range of Zatan's stuff? No. No, they did not. Zatan's jumping in for a bit of a snipe onto, it looks like Malagor. He is going to Sadistic Snare Malagor in place. And if he can kill him somehow, then you would get rid of the Beastman caster and force them to take just a basic Beast Lord, a melee Lord, and then they wouldn't have a caster for the rest of their games. The Instant Sorcerer of Fire is just chilling out, hanging around, as Malagor is surviving very well against Zatan. The Eye of Moresleep is protecting his Lord to his utmost ability. And it does look like the Chaos Dwarves will be defeated soundly. And the Beastmen are triumphant. Bull Centaur Renders did decent in their little fights. They just, like, couldn't... 90% isn't enough in this format, and the Beastmen just held on, and they had so many Pestigors standing around, protecting their bottoms. The Burning Head on the first Archer was really good, but it wasn't enough to just quite shatter him. Alright, I have to get the next player in here, but there is a narrative thing that is occurring. Who is next? Chalk Crow. Chalk Crow. You're up, sir. So the Beastmen, you might notice a new unit in their ranks. After standing over the battlefield triumphant, the Bull Centaur Renders that were still alive after Zatan has fallen, after their little Demon Smith Sorcerer has fallen, some of them remain there confused, and they see across from them all these Beastmen that look just like them, except a little less muscular than themselves. And the Beastmen offer them to join them. They're not even... Because all the Bull Centaurs have known their entire life is when you beat your enemy, you crush them, you enslave them, and you make their lives brutal. Malagor seemed happy to see them. This little crow man flies up to him. He's like, "Hey, guys! How's it going? Yeah, that was a good scrap. That was a good fight. You guys want to come hang out with us? Let's go, let's go." And he just, like, gives him some food, and he starts walking off as he just expects him to follow him. Well, these Bull Centaurs just kind of look around. They're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Okay. And they follow along. So the Sons of Goros were added to Malagor's horde as he continues to press on, following the map. Mr. Chalk has gone with the Ogre Kingdoms. Let me take a look here for a second. Trying to find a map that doesn't suck, but is also very ogre-y. Isn't there... Was Blasted Lands? Is that one bad? It's not terrible. So as Malagor follows the map through the Plains of Zar, Luther's map, he ends up in the mountains. He's a little confused. Thought the map ended in the Plains of Zar. Did they fix Thoric? Thoric hasn't been fixed? I thought they fixed him. Lamb Sauce in the chat. Still has the best character from Arcane as his profile picture. Again, for anybody who's been joining here and there or whatever, there's no need for a blocker because Pigman's build is set in stone, so he can't change it to counter his opponent or anything, and I need to watch his opponent to make sure they've spent the correct amount of gold for the format. Mr. Chalk is readying up his ogres. Does anybody remember at the end, the very end of Warhammer 2, every faction got Ogre Kingdoms as their extended roster? Remember that? And now the ogres are their own faction? That's kind of crazy. I don't know if anybody was watching it, but Dav Plays was hosting this cap point with... It's this mod that like Imais and Gojira and some other people have worked on, where it takes domination and land battles and kind of slaps them together. It's land battles but with like a cap point in the middle, and if you capture it and get like 700 points with it, the game just ends, but there's no reinforcements or anything. And it was really fucked up. There was this one game where Pigman... The format's fine. Alright, I'm not talking... It's one game. But Pigman was playing Cathay into Chaos Dwarves, and he was like... It was literally the damage value was like 8,000 to 2,500. But the Chaos Dwarves were just sitting on the point as like he fucked around and killed everything else on the map. And the timer was just ticking up because they're standing on this point. And he like rushes a moonbird over there. He rushes a bunch of stuff over there to try and kill him, but he doesn't have enough like infantry or capture weight to actually take the point. So it's just really funny that he ends up losing the game because he didn't play to the objective, but he's like murdered the whole army. And I think about it from a narrative sense is why I think it's fucked up. Like not again, I'm not actually complaining about the game mode. It's just funny where it's like, think about that though. Because after it's over, like they're standing in the middle of this field and they've been standing next to this flag. Cathay has a whole army left and it's some wounded and battered Chaos Dwarves. And then a bell just rings and Cathay has to go home. They have to go home and explain to their general, well, the dwarves got the flag. And it's like, just kill them and take the flag. Oh, it doesn't work that way. They got the flag. We had to go home. And the Chaos Dwarves go back and, like, party it up as if they, like, won a great battle or something. And it's, like, 100 people left when 1,500 marched out to battle and got completely fucked. But they get to go home and be the winners. That was so funny. Two games after that, it was Berserk, Spellcasting Doors of Tzeentch. Ugh. Tzeentch. Alright. So, as we were kind of setting up, Malagor and his boys accidentally walk through the whole plains of Zar and end up in the mountains. The mountains that border Cathay. I'm forgetting their names at this moment. But he knows he's gone too far. So he turns around, he turns and looks as he's up in the sky. He looks around and he sees a little smoke and he's like, well, there's smoke, there's fire. He goes over and he sees some tents made out of bones. He sees some pits with teeth in them. He sees lava everywhere and he's like, okay, these are chaos type people. They'll probably be friendly to me. And he lands and he says, hey, buddy, I have this map here. And he pulls out the map and the Ogre Tyrant, the Slaughtermaster here, takes the map and he takes a look at it and goes, oh, I know where this goes. I know where this map goes. This is from Funny Hat, isn't it? And Malagor kind of looks around. He's like, well, I don't remember Luther wearing a hat. Funny Hat. Guy, screaming, has a pistol, big bat bird, sometimes wears a hat. It looks like a shoe, but it's a hat. He told me. I said, hey, your shoe's on your head. He yelled at me. He shot at me a little bit, got stuck in my gut. Didn't like that. But after a brief squabble, good guy. We got it. I know what that is. And you finally found a way to get it. Thank you. And Slaughtermaster rolls up the map, tucks it awfully close to his sweaty ogre junk. Malagor kind of wants it back, but kind of doesn't want it back because now it smells like ogre crotch. But he's like, hey, that's mine. You can't just steal that. Slaughtermaster puffs out his chest, actually puffs out his gut. What you gonna do about it? Malagor leans in. He's like, I have a very particular set of skills. Set of skills that makes me a nightmare for people like you. I can fly, motherfucker. and you don't have any flying units on your roster. And Malagor flies up into the sky as 120 ogres all pile around reaching for him, but he's up and away, and he says, I'll be back. Mark my words, when I'm back, you'll rue the day you fucks with Malagor, Dark Omen. Malagor gathers his boys, and he's gonna burn this village to the ground and get his map back. All right, we are off to the races now. It's funny that Pigman's army actually got a little less elite because he had to find the money for the Sons of Goros, but the Sons of Goros are the Bull Centaur renders he recruited on the Plains of Zar. For the Ogre tribe that is trying to oppose him and hold on to Luther Harkon's map, we have a ton of Ogre Bulls, Noblar Trappers, we have some Crushers as well, including the Sky Striders, one Leadbelcher, and a Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw, with only Brain Gobbler to get things to route a little quicker here and there. A nightmare. This flank where Pigman massively overloaded, not in a bad way, I mean that is in a tactical way, he is demolishing the ogres over here. A lot of them are routing, but Crushers found their way onto Ungor Raiders, and can they chase them off? Can any of the ogres chase these guys down and get that good shatter? Pigman seems to realize this flank is weaker. He's pulling back some Centaurs and some Minotaurs to go get something done here, but already an Ungor Raider is down, shattered beneath the might of the Crushers. Here is the Warp Gaze, though. Net from the Eye of Morsleep, blocking the Crushers in place as the Beastmen get free charges over onto these Crushers. What can happen? Leadbelchers are beset upon by the Sons of Goros, and a Doom and Darkness overcast onto all these Ogre units. Is even going to get Slaughtermaster routing as Malagor beats him up, trying to get the map back. But what can the Ogres do? What price can they inflict? Pestigors and Ungor herds are routing. Ungor Raiders also getting close to routing. I really like this strategy of just going on one side and going hard for it. There comes a pendulum down the side of the Noblar Trappers. Good damage there, but they gotta focus fire down these Pestigors and Ungor Raiders. They gotta get something back for the loss of their village, because their village has certainly lost. The balance of power and the damage value are both very much in Pigman's favor as he continues to try and run down the Pestigors and the Ungor herds. He is getting archers to rout as well. Centaur's taking a lot of damage, but I don't think there's such a thing as a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, and he does have these Pestigors in hand. Now, we've shown how hard these fuckers are to get rid of, but Ogre Bulls are on the chase, and the Sky Striders and Crushers are going to try and hold the Minotaurs and Centaurs back. Other Centaurs are spreading into the fight too, but they're not going to be in time to stop these Ogre Bulls. The Pestigors are getting dangerously low on leadership, and other Ogre Bulls are also routing in the direction the Beastmen are. If these guys can rally in the trees and take up the chase as well, Beastmen could lose a good number of units. Meanwhile, Pigman is just trying to get through here. Centaurs finally get into the backfield, but the Pestigors are so low, so close to just dying outright, 500 HP and falling. And these Ungor herds taking a lot of damage from I don't know what. It looks like another Ogre Bull found his way onto them. So close, some of the Beastmen units. So close. Can they actually die? Balance of power is getting dangerously low for the Ogre Kingdoms. Army losses is Pigman's best friend as he is waiting for it, praying for it. The Ogre Bulls have found some Ungor Raiders, and one Ungor herd is gone. We have lost an archer and an Ungor herd. These Pestigors will not give in. They won't surrender. That one's not even a chevroned one. It just won't shatter, no matter what you do it. Now both Ogre Bulls are trying to get onto this same Ungor Raider, desperately trying to get it to shatter as their Crushers throw out a horrifying rear guard. They're just getting massacred by Centaurs. I lost sound for a second, but we are good now. Shattered from the Ungor Raiders. Two archers and one Ungor herd are picked off by the Ogre Kingdoms, but Malagor will get his fucking map. And that Pestigor held on. This Beastman army is getting awfully large. Not a lot of infantry left for him. Alright, who is up next? We have Olaf the Moose. Malagor, good value. Minotaurs, the Sons of Goros, did quite well. Centaurs also did very well. No one can resist the Ogre Tide for too long. I think this concept is really cool. Thanks, man. It's my favorite. It is actually my favorite. It's funny. So time to bitch about everyone in our community, and that's the easiest way to make friends. I love this format, and then when people play it, they're like, this was really fun. And then when people watch it, they're like, this was really fun. And then whenever I do a community vote for, hey guys, what should we do next? I always throw in Gladiator, and Gladiator always loses. And it's like, what's it losing to? Oh, hey guys, should we do Gladiator, that super fun event everybody liked? Or should I kick a rock down some stairs? People are like, oh, kick the rock down some stairs. That shit's awesome. Okay. Should I taser myself in the balls, or should we play Gladiator? Oh, dude, taser yourself in the balls. That's hilarious. Okay. Should I do nothing? Should I do nothing? Not even stream today. Should I stay in bed and provide you with no entertainment whatsoever? Or should we do Gladiator? Ah, dude, just fucking stay in bed. This game sucks. Okay, fine. So today, I just didn't even hold the vote. I just said I'm doing Gladiator. I'm fucking doing it. You can show up if you want, though. I hate people. I hate everybody. My Discord sucks. If you're in my Discord, then you suck. Everything sucks. Do it for the Vine. Alright, we're waiting on Olaf the Moose. I haven't heard from him in a bit. If he's not here in the next minute or two, we will just invite the next person on the list, and if he shows up later, he shows up later. But Pop Palpatine, I see you in the chat. You are up next. So in a couple minutes, if Olaf hasn't responded or showed up in the lobby, we'll just get you in here. Just a heads up. Still haven't done the taser you agreed to. Yeah. Also, if you like the content, subscribe. We're at a bit of a down patch. I posted some comment. Okay. This sounds very blamey. I'm not blaming anybody. It just is how YouTube works. We're on some down content right now. I posted some stuff the patrons wanted, where I did some build reviews with some experts from the community. So we talk about how to make good builds with certain factions. Warriors of Chaos and High Elves are already out. Skaven is coming out, I think, 2 days from now. So if you like that content, please do subscribe. Those usually don't get the views that basic battle replays do. But I did time them when we're already in a downswing. I was also releasing some lore videos, and those also don't get the same viewership. If they don't get the same viewership, why do them? One, I like them, and two, it depends. Like, more hardcore fans like them, and building a good relationship with your hardcore fans is important. While also, if you do the same thing over and over again, YouTube ebbs and flows anyway, right? So the hardcore people watch me anytime. So I try to time these videos that are a little more creative, a little more fun, but also kind of more for the hardcore audience. I time them when I'm in a lull because those people are going to check them out anyway. I've tried it before where it's like if I have a video that pops off and gets like 20,000 views and then I put a lore one right after it, it gets 1,000 views. And if I put a lore video at the bottom of a lull, it gets 1,000 views. So it's just like, well, the people who are going to watch this are going to watch this. It doesn't matter what the YouTube algorithm does for this type of content. This hyper niche content. Alright, I invited Papa Palpatine. Olaf is either briefly AFK or forgot this was occurring today. We did do signups yesterday just so I kind of knew who would be here. So we invited Papa Palpatine. Do it during the hot tub stream next week. Oh yeah. Easy. What about a lore chat live? It could be fun. How good this totally not correct guy is. I disagree to half what was said about the High Elves, but still better watch than any Dwarf game. The Phoenix King, yeah, that is something that, like, a lot of new players talk to me about, and I really try to encourage them with. And I think this is a good thing for the game. But everyone sees it differently. And I think if everyone saw this game the same way, it would be very boring, which is why, like, usually the most meta matchups are pretty boring, is because most people, the meta stuff is usually statistically the best. Like, it's just like, oh, the stats on this unit are broken. You can't argue with math. But once you talk to faction mains, people who just play a faction because they love them, you'll usually get very different takes on how the faction can be played, and there's multiple effective playstyles. Like watching you, the Phoenix King, play High Elves, and watching Stingers or Black Knight play. All three of you play very different, and you all still have pretty good success on the faction, which is part of what I think is interesting. So when people come to me asking for builds, I'm like, this is how I play Vampire Coast, but you might want to go ask Sipa how he plays. You might want to go ask Bjorn how he plays, because they play different from me, and they're also very good players, and they also get good results on Vampire Coast. Which is fun. So that's when you're interviewing the faction mains, it's like, I mean, yeah, this is going to be how they do it, but it's not the end-all, be-all way to play High Elves. It's just a cohesive way that plays it. It works. We all practice our Queekish. Yes. Yes, now you're pogging out. The Warline argument in the Discord. Yeah. So Pop Palpatine is in. He picks Khorne. There's a Khorne map that's actually pretty fine, right? Gore Gateway is fine. Pigman is down to 1 archer. Very little range left for him. The evil choice was the Divas of Chaos, Changebringers, and Exalted Great Claymon. Oh god. Oh, full air cheesing the Beastmen that have just lost their range. That would be fucked up. Alright, as you know, we are waiting for Pop Palpatine's build, then we'll get right back into game. I appreciate you being patient through the lulls. I do realize, you know what's funny is that recent fans, people who only joined the channel recently, we have done a lot more replay streams than we have done the live streams. Because like almost all of our new player tournaments are just replay. My Warpstone Cup replays, Warpstone Cup streams are all replays as well. So there's been no downtime. So there might be new fans that are coming into it just like, what the? Why is he in a lobby? Why is he waiting for the game to happen? This is fucked up. I need my entertainment now. Alright, Pop Palpatine's building his build. I'm gonna grab myself a beverage. BRB. Stinky. What do you do? Stinky, what do you do? What are you doing? Hazel, come here. Come on. We gave the dog a bath today. So she's mildly damp, and Grace doesn't like her being on the furniture when she's drying. But then Grace went out and ran errands, so I need to keep an eye on her. Make sure she's okay. Well, not okay. Make sure she's staying off the furniture. Do y'all think every entry in the Great Book of Grudges is Dear Diary? Dear Diary, the Wazikan humans took my beer. They said my glass was empty. I had 2 whole drops of Bugman's in there. Unfortunately, I was busy either sleeping or urinating myself. I don't remember which one. That evening was kind of foggy. In recompense for my 2 drops of Bugmans that were wasted when they washed, and I use that term lightly, washed my mug with their filthy river water and piss, the payment will be 45 human children sacrificed at the altar of Grimnir. It seems like a fair bargain. They did not take kindly to this request. Dear Diary, tomorrow I am supposed to be hung for reasons. The bar that stole my 2 drops of Bugmans did not take kindly to the way I burned their store to the ground and killed their city guard, though guard is a strong term for Umgi with a fancy hat. So I'll be dead. But when I die, my family will take out 17 generations of kerfuffling upon this, and we'll all die in the process. Dear Diary, the humans let me go. I may have overreacted a bit. The grudges still stand. Dear Diary, do you think Edna likes me? I crashed. What? Why? Plus another mug of Buggins. Got it. Dear Diary, I couldn't reach the upper shelf of the Omgu shop again. It needs to be burned. Alright. Let me get another lobby up for the players. Just in case it was Gore Gateway, I'm going to change the map to Wastes of Khorne. Wastes of Khorne is fine. It's still a Khornate map, but, like, just in case it was Gore Gateway that was the problem. Hey, Segos. Henry. Time for a question. Boo, crashes are dumb. Alright. I took a little screenshot of the builds I'm going to post just in case the players need it. Aw, Segos. You little charmer, you. Did you 3-0 your way to stage 2 of the Warpstone Cup yet, or are you 2-1 right now? Segos. I had Pigman swap down to be down here. If he's team 1, for some reason when he's team 1, the game, like, if something shatters, it eliminates it from entirely. It doesn't do the skull. But if he's on my side, he's the quote-unquote bad guy, and then I get to see their shattered units. It's just easier to track who shattered and who didn't. Michael Hobson? Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure, the seizure warning because was because of Zinch. Strix, I forgot to mention it. I saw you on a stream recently, and I was going to say I haven't seen you for a while, but then I forgot to mention it. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope you're doing well. Sorry for the delay here. Like, I mean, if you just saw, we had a crash, so we're trying to get back into it. Pop Palpatine is reloading up to get back to us. I'm just checking the screenshot I took in Pigman's build to make sure we have all the right units. Looks correct. So we're good to go on that front. It's a beautiful day outside, chat. And for the 101 people watching, here's the deal. I'm getting married on the 21st. That's like 7. That's like 12 days away, right? I'm not going to be around the Thursday before, the Friday of, and then the Saturday and Sunday after. So it's a 4-day period where I'm just like not going to fucking be here. I have pre-scheduled videos that'll come out for you guys. It'll be fine. But if you're on my Discord, don't message me. If you're on YouTube and you're like, where's your stream? Not gonna be one. If you're like, why won't he answer any of my comments on his videos? Not gonna happen. Congratulations, congrats, man. New Doom game means new push-up stream, right? Dude, I'd totally be down. That was so fun. New Doom game was good. Yeah. The Doom Medieval is gonna be lit. Strix, I was watching afterwards more often than not. I'll allow it. That's how I watch most things. I really don't catch live streams much. Of the streamers I do watch, I just watch the VODs because then I can fast forward through between games and stuff. I really don't watch much Warhammer content, though, because when you make Warhammer content, you're like, I just did that for 10 hours today. I'll watch another 6. You know, I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to think about Warhammer till my next video. How much Skaven did Grace allow for the ceremony? None. It made me reconsider this whole marriage thing, but we got over it. Okay. We had a brief pause there, so let's catch you back up to speed. Malagor gets an army together. The Eye of Morsleep tells him he has to go to Ulthuan to get a Great Destiny. He goes to Ulthuan. They run into some Warriors of Chaos there, beat them up in front of the High Elf Tower. Teclis, in the tower, says he'll let Malagor into the Tower of Hoeth to do his rampaging if he finds Luther Harkon's map to go fuck himself. Malagor, being a Beastman, doesn't know that he's being told to go fuck himself. He thinks he's being serious. So he goes down to Luther Harkon, kicks Luther's ass, steals his map, goes on a worldwide adventure, and ends up in the Plains of Zar where the map goes. In the Plains of Zar, he runs into some Bull Centaurs led by Zatan the Black, beats them up, recruits one of the Bull Centaur renders, and keeps trying to follow the map. He's a Beastman, he's not very good at this, so he ends up in the mountains. He overshot his goal. The Ogres told him they know where the map leads, but that he can go fuck himself. Malagor flew off, got his boys, came back, got the map back. Right. Sounds good. So, the Slaughtermaster, on his deathbed, is getting his eyes pecked out by Malagor the Birdman, until eventually, he's like, okay, Jesus Christ. I know where the map goes. All right, when you go into the Plains of Zar, you see the big city, the big fuck-off city, go north of there for a while, like just a bit, and you'll see a big ol' crevice in the ground with an altar at the bottom. Go to the altar at the bottom, you'll find what you seek there. Malagor looks at the map. Now, where the guy told him to go is south and then slightly north. Where the map goes is north and then further north. Malagor doesn't know how to read a fucking map. So he doesn't know that the guy told him to go to the wrong place. He goes to where it is. He enters this whole field of bones. There's just bones as far as the eye can see. As he and his army are walking down into this pit, it's just sliding on all the fucking bones. He doesn't think anything of it. So Malagor flies down to the bottom. He enters an altar that has a skull on the top. In the middle of this altar, there's a pool. When he steps in the pool, it's rather viscous and kind of sticks to his feathers. Not like water at all. Doesn't think anything of it. Everything smells irony and tangy. He doesn't think anything of it. And he walks up to this sword that has a pommel, that has a skull on it, and the crossguard is all bones, and it's glowing red, and he's like, doesn't think anything of it, and he touches it. And he touches it because he's like, this is what Teclis wanted me to touch. He touches it, a portal opens, and starts just hoovering it like a vacuum, and all the bones are coming down from the crater, raining down in here, and the Beastmen are losing their footing on all the bones that are coming down. They end up just getting swept up with it, and they get dropped into the center of the Chaos Waste. They fall out of the sky, tumble down these mountains, and end up in the middle of the realm of Khorne. Malagor has been thoroughly deceived, and he is fucking pissed. Time to find his way out of the Chaos Wastes, and of course, there's a Khornate army that saw the portal open and know it's feeding time. I do. Yes. Thanks, Cash. Thanks. Not short enough, rat boy. Hey! Alright, Pop Palpatine and Khorne are going to try and take on this Pigman build. Needs a bit more whittling. This is maybe the first time in Gladiator that the front line has remained intact. Usually what happens is people will murder the front line, and in subsequent games you just have to play with no front line, and then your archers will die, and then you'll just have cavalry. This time people have been picking off a lot of the archers, and they got one of the Centaurs and got one of the Minotaurs too. But why did Pop Palpatine bring a War Shrine? Because he's having fun. Sometimes we have fun in this game. For Pop Palpatine and the forces of Khorne, we have Chaos Warhounds of Khorne with some chevrons. One is triple gold, one is triple bronzed. We have the Heralds of Khorne's Fury, ROR Blood Crushers. Triple Chosen of Khorne with dual weapons. A Herald of Khorne to give them more stats. Chaos War Shrine of Khorne to give them more stats. Then we have triple Chaos Furies of Khorne. I wonder if this build is too meme to the sun. Might be too meme. Meme too close to that there flaming skull over in the distance, I suppose. This Khorne's gonna waddle forwards. Pigman, the Eye of More Sleep. Gonna have to be careful not to take too much damage from these Chosen. Though I do worry. I guess as long as his Chaos Furies of Khorne stay in the sky, anything that routes ever, they can chase it down. Because I was going to say, as long as Pigman just selectively, slowly feeds things into the Chosen and then backs them off when they're about to die, he should be okay. Should be. Who's up next, by the way? Up next is Raced. Okay. Triple Gold Chevron, Dogs of Khorne getting a fight with Centaurs. And then, what the hell is this? A Pendulum down the side trying to hit all of them while the Chaos Furies rear charge the Centaurs. Centaurs taking a lot of damage, so they are Triple Gold Chevron boys. Their leadership is stalwart, like the Dwarves of old. Chaos Warhounds and Furies pushed away. Other Chaos Furies are also going to die, and that is a big loss for Khorne this early in. Meanwhile, the Blood Crushers and these other dogs trying to chase down the Sons of Goros. Sons of Goros are significantly faster than the Heralds of Khorne's Fury. The dogs are not poisonous, so they can't actually keep those Sons of Goros in line. And Khorne lost a lot of mobility over here. On this side, Pestigors get attacked by the Herald and Chaos Furies and some Chosen. Pestigors are going to try to walk away. The Chosen are also slower than the Pestigors. Looks like the Heralds of Khorne's Fury and Dogs are going to go try and sweep these guys up. Now, the edge of the map is tantalizingly close for the Beastmen, so they might just be able to get to safety regardless. Pigman is closing in, and the Eye of More Sleep is wreaking a terrible toll on the Chosen of Khorne. Already has 1,000 value. I love how these Pestigors haven't even broken yet. That's how fucking jacked they are. Cygar stays on one more round, it will have paid for itself. Yeah. Yeah! Now you're getting it. Dogs, gold, bronze chevron at least, are going after the Pestigors, trying to get some good damage out here. No Beastmen are around to help out just yet. Maybe the Pestigors will finally die. Heralds of Khorne's Fury are going to take a naked charge onto these Pestigors, getting really good impact damage. As Chosen and Chaos Furies try and buy a little bit of time for these guys in the mobility department to do their work. Pestigor's down to 1,000 HP. Will our first Pestigor be cut from this Beastmen build? It is! It is shattered! It is shattered and gone. Finally, a Pestigor is removed. And the Chaos Furies are getting ground down. Chosen of Khorne taking a lot of damage. The Heralds of Khorne Fury are just going to have to jump in here. There's Chaos War Shrine. How are we doing on charge? 16%, not terrible. Everybody's all grouped up. I don't think you'll have a Sword of Khorne for quite a while. Yeah, I don't think so. Enemy troop count. We've killed about 200 things. But we might get ourselves a rout. Chosen of Khorne are taking a lot of damage, but they're holding on for now. Terror Out does take one of them out. In comes that Pestigore, minus 75 speed. Even on units that aren't involved in the fight, and they're really trying to go for those Ungor Raiders right now, but they just can't get away from the speed debuff. Gives Pigman all the time in the world to realize what's happening. He charges some Centaurs over as that speed debuff completely fucked the Warhounds of Khorne. They were gonna get those Ungor Raiders, but that 75% speed reduction is so brutal. The Chosen of Khorne are still cleaving through Pestigore as best they can, but the Centaur charge is too much for the dogs to bear, and they get knocked out right away. Heralds of Khorne's Fury trying to hold it down for now. Chosen of Khorne still doing some battle here. Khorne quickly going to shit. Balance of power is tipping against Khorne quite far. Army losses will be soon, as we're losing 2 Chosen of Khorne. Heralds of Khorne's Fury are also going to be dead. Herald himself is going to be dead. And Malagor did take a lot of damage from his overcasts. But he should be okay, as it is just 1 Chosen of Khorne remaining. Now this Pestigore has taken so much damage. 360, 350 HP, still falling, but his leadership is fine. He's next to plenty of bros. And army losses hits. That Pestigore will be alright. 1 Pestigore down. Raced. You up. The Chosen of Khorne build was too bold and too wild for the world of men. I have more sleep, alright. 1400 value on the nose. We're down to 3 Pestigores. Is the event over when we see the last fight, or will there be another round of new Gladiator? I play it by ear, based on... how long the stream's going, and Pigman has held on for long enough that it'll probably just be a 1 army stream. But if someone gets rocked in like 2 or 3 games, we'll do 2 Gladiators. Alright, Raced is going Bretonnia. The Beastmen need to cut 1 Pestigore. Rorschheim was just for the funny leadership buff. Facts. Okay. I was just checking on some things. Where are we? What's going on? Who's around me right now? We have Raced. This is the last of our scheduled opponents for Pigman. If Pigman survives after this game, we will just be grabbing randoms, but I believe Sipa is around, and Sipa wanted to play. So we had Olaf the Moose, who was AFK, but had technically signed up. Sipa's around, and he signed up, but then said, give my spot to anybody else if they want to play. And if neither of those show up, we'll either take anybody who wants to, or Gotrek Starbreaker did offer to play again. At least I got one of the unbreakable pestigores. You did, dude. You did. I love how even without chevrons, they were living to they were like fighting the last man. And now with chevrons, it's like you just have to kill them. You strat game? Sure, dude. I don't care. I would give Sipa first dibs since he like he signed up before, but he's saying if he plays, it's just done. It's donezo. As you shit talking strat game. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh. Okay. So just shit on my boy Strat. My boy Stratimus Gamimus. Too many people are mean to Strat. Here's the thing you don't understand about Strat. Alright. When you have biceps that are that big, do you know how hard it is to reach your keyboard? The fact that he can play at all is a goddamn miracle of science, so get off his back! He's trying. He's trying so damn hard. My man is cut. He's jacked. Dude, poor Strat. He has to put up with all you guys' bullshit. Without Strat, where would we be? Fucking nowhere. He personally funds this whole operation. Without him, I would have been homeless years ago. Everybody who likes this channel and ever raises their voice to Strat game is clinically insane, because this is just his channel. He owns this place! Okay. So Malagor fights his way out of the realm of Khorne, gets dropped into a frozen ocean, very cold, very sad, not having a good time, drags his feathered ass out of the ocean onto some green, lush shores, comes up for air. His whole army they're trying to dry off, they're shaking themselves like dogs, and you hear the pitter-patter of raindrops hitting armor. Malagor looks up and he's like, fucking what? Now! And he sees a bunch of knights sitting there, fresh, dirty droplets raining down their armor as all of these filthy beastmen have just covered their coats. And this lady rides up to him. What? She draws her sword. What? And then the knights all leave. And Malagor's like, alright, fuck off then, and continues to dry himself off. But the knights didn't leave. They reach the top of the hill, and they start to turn. And they start to turn. And the dust cloud is building as they gain speed. They come roaring down the hill, and at the front the lady is leading them, baguette! She's waving her sword around like a mad lady. Malagor quickly realizes that they were not retreating, they were not fucking off, they were gaining momentum for a glorious charge, Kislev TM. And he tries to brace his units, tells them to get in line and figure it the fuck out. We're under attack, lads. So, for Race's army, we have Reponse de Lyonesse, Damsel of Beasts, with Curse of Honor here and Pan's Pentral Pelt, and then all the knights you can muster. Knights Errant, Questing Knights, more Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm, RORs mixed in there, and Grail Knights. Reponse leads a glorious charge. And she is the Lady of the Peasants, so it's kind of funny that she brought literally 0 peasants. Reponse is just in that ass, charges straight through the Pestigors, and in comes the Companions of Quinels. These other guys, oh god. Whatever these are, these Knights of the Realm are getting slammed as the Eye of Morsig just throws his potato on him. I love that he's been carrying a fucking potato this whole time. Sons of Goros, I mean, the Bull Centaur Renders from the Chaos Wastes are getting rear charged. They're completely surrounded, and Curse of Honor here, Overcast is down, but Bretonnia is taking an unholy amount of damage. Oh my goodness, that topside fight is going so poorly as the Sons of Goros are starting to retreat. Their leadership is okay. They might not shatter just yet. Malagor throws down a Doom and Darkness as the Bretonnians shatter the Sons of Goros. The Bull Centaur Renders from the Chaos Waste made it so far. Well, from the Plains of Zar, which is pretty much the Chaos Wastes, if you ask me. But they're gone. A big old blob of Knights is still trying to kill these Pestigors, still trying to kill the Butchers of Kalkengard, doing some decent damage of it. Race is up on damage value, but Pigman is doing fine as far as army balance of power goes. Pestigor is starting to rout. Malagor gets down a big old flock of doom on everybody. I need to keep an eye on this blob fight to make sure I can catch every shattered unit as the Sons of Goros are just about dead. Pestigor's routing, but as we know, they're not going to give up. They're just never going to quit. And now the Knights are starting to have a bad time. They need to get out. They need to refresh their charge bonus. They also need to bring in some of their routed brethren back to the fold. As these gold chevroned Pestigors already back at positive leadership. And there it is. The Icons of Vilification. He finally got that item for plus 12 more leadership to make his Beastmen even more unbreakable. Knights of the Lionhearted proving true to their name as they fought courageously. It was not quite enough. Other Knights Errant also pushed away, and Bretonnia's falling further and further behind the balance of power. Centaurs are getting chewed up right now by these Grail Knights, however. And can Bretonnia finish off the Pestigors and the Centaur? Centaur might just flat out die. Their leadership's doing fine, but their HP is not. Grail Knights are after them. Looks like they don't intend to let this go, but the Warp Gaze means they don't get any choice in the matter as 7 Pestigors run to the hills. Their leadership is chilling. They aren't going to shatter for nothing. Pestigors are also getting pretty low. Bounce power's tipping very heavily against Bretonnia. They need to go into scramble mode. They need to pick up what units they can here and there. Pestigor's 400 HP. Centaur's 400 HP. But is the result of Bretonnia's labor gonna be one Pestigor? No, Sons of Goros. That's what died. Oh, here it is. These Pestigors running from their army like fools, like idiots, are gonna get swarmed upon. Nice rear charge in from the Knights. No, they're not! They're gonna sneak away into the distance as Race goes after the Ungor Raiders and goes after the rear charge on the full blob instead of picking off the Pestigors. Centaurs are also back at the very edge of the map. No, Bretonnia, you gotta run down the Pestigors! You can't defeat the blob at this stage! Yeah! You gotta go get him! No! It's a tragedy! It's a tragedy. Pestigors will live another round, so will the Centaurs. As Bretonnia lets their honor get ahead of them. And they did done do the big fuck up. They will lose. GG. Pestigors have stock? No. Whoa! Whoa! Why did they shatter? Why did they shatter? They shattered for no reason! What the fuck? I saw that, though. They did shatter for no reason. What? Why did they shatter? I don't know why they shattered, but they did. And that's the world we live in. Alright, it's... Sipa's in. And then it sounds like Strat Game's in after Sipa. Alright, Sipa picks Slaanesh. So let's go to... 2600, 123, code 65712548225. Let him keep the unit that was not fair. This stream has to end sometime. And also, Pigman's Pigman. Alright. Lore-wise, this doesn't make sense, but this is Sipa's by far favorite map, so I'll pick it for him. Alright, so we picked Sipa's favorite map. Let me think. I gotta come up with the plot. Alright, I think we got the plot. I think the plot's set. Beastmen fully gold chevroned out. Malagor has everything, and he still has 1,800 gold left. This is where it starts to get tricky. This is where your advantage really shrinks, is when you start running out of places to put your money. All of a sudden, you're on the back foot. When in doubt, everyone fell into the Chaos Portal. No, I got schemes. I got an idea. All right, got it. You don't host homebrewed Dungeons and Dragons campaigns for 9 years without getting some good improv skills. So I am ready to go. I'm just going to do this story at a more appropriate time. For the 100 people here, how's it going? You know what? We haven't done any YouTube engagement for a while. Start a poll. How's it going? Let's add 4 options. Great. Fine. Bad. How's it going? Life in general. How's it going, buddies? Wow, that new YouTube poll system looks really fucking shitty. It used to be like kind of nice, and now it's just this white box for me. I don't know if it's something on my end that's fucked up, but it's like just this white box. It sucks. To the 6% of the vote, which I think is just one vote, to whoever voted bad, I hope it gets better for you, my friend. For the 2 people who voted bad, hope things turn around. Alright, Slaanesh looks like they're ready. 5 gold off their mark. The Beastmen are ready. Everything is chevroned, except for the Archer is missing 1 gold chevron. Pigman has a tactical reserve chevron he doesn't want to spend. That's great when you're using Dark Theme. Oh, yeah. Hey, just got into multiplayer. Got a blast messing around with Kolek. Are you in our Discord? Do you play in our Discord, or do you just play in the ranked matchmaking that CA provides you? Because that's fine. That's fine. If you're having fun on the ranked matchmaking, that's okay. I'm not going to judge you. I just think you're wrong, and you could be having a better time on our Discord, where we have a best of 1 practice pit that's unranked just for fun. We have a best of 3 find matches bot, which uses our tournament rules. Everything on our Discord uses fruit rules, which sounds scary, but it's really not. It's just some house rules like don't forest camp, don't corner camp, always try and attack somehow, don't just like constantly run away like a little bitch. And then it bans certain broken units like the Thunder Barge, like the land ship and things like that. So, yeah. Feel free to join us. Or keep playing ranked matchmaking on the actual game. Sure, whatever. Fine. So. I'm doing bad because we haven't seen any dating, hot tub, wedding streams in a while. I'm concerned about the dating sim streams because those were funny for me and I had a lot of fun with you guys, but I'm worried that like casuals would worry. I'm worried casuals would like unsubscribe or something because they would think that like, oh, like he's abandoning Total War, or, oh, he's cringe, when it's just kind of like, oh, we were just doing this for fun, but okay. Grace is home. You want to say hi to people? The camera's on, but I meant you could just like lean in the door and say hi. Camera faces this way.
Hi.
When are we getting married?
12 days.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Did you find a dress?
No.
Oh. Not a dress for the wedding, a dress separate dress. Did you find a wedding dress? 12 days for the
12 days before.
Okay, I'll talk to you in a bit. Stream's kind of almost over.
And a nice candle.
Yay! I'll smell it in a bit. Alright, so Malagor, now holding this sword of Khorne, after fighting his way through the Khorne wastes and then getting dumped into the ocean and swimming to Bretonnia and beating up a bunch of Bretonnian knights, he is sick of this shit. He thinks he is found. Teclis wanted him to get the Sword of Khorne so that Teclis would let him in the Tower of Hoth. So back to his original objective of getting in the Tower of Hoth, he starts flying across the ocean. His army is on the boat. They're going, and suddenly the boat crashes. Now everybody wakes up. It's the middle of the night, and they go, all right, we've reached Ulthuan. They get off the boat, and they immediately slip and slide around. It's very comical and silly for a bit until they realize they're on pure ice. And Malagor goes, what the actual fuck is ice doing here? And Nakari walks over and says, well, not Nakari, apparently an Exalted Keeper of Secrets, walks over and says, well, how else is my army to reach Ulthuan? And Malagor goes, God fucking damn it! I guess we're doing this now! And gets into a fight with the Slaaneshi horde that was on their way to claim some elven souls, and already the races are off. Forsaken of Slaanesh, Prince of Perfection, and Spawn grouping up with the Exalted Keeper of Secrets to rampage some Centaurs and do good damage to them. Elsewhere, more Hellstriders and Spawn are going to tackle the Beastmen main army. And the Centaurs and Malagor are doing their best to hang on, and it being Glacier Lake, the edge of the map is awfully close nearby. One Centaur is terror routing, another one is close to routing, but not routing just yet, and Enfeebling Foe is already popping the Hellstriders of Slaanesh. But the Beastmen, on such a small map, they could get to the edges of the map quickly and route themselves off the normal way. Okay, that Centaur routed twice. What Slaanesh has to do is leave it alone, leave it alone, leave it alone. And then next time it routes, it'll shatter, and you can take it out of the game for free. But don't pursue it to the edge of the map. You're not going to kill it in time. Over here in the main fight, triple gold chevron, Minotaurs with great weapons taking a lot of damage, as are the Pestigors. The Eye of Morsleep and the boys are chilling just fine. All these Centaurs are breaking. Let some of them break, but this one, this is prime shatter potential. Pigman has to try and keep it away from the fight. In general, this Centaur is shattered. We've lost a Centaur. This one, as soon as he fights the Hellstriders, he is going to break, and that means he will shatter. This other one, they're trying to hunt him down in time. I don't think it's going to matter, as the Hellstriders should be able to pick off this Centaur. Should is a key word, as that gold chevron Centaur is fighting the very last of its ability. So one of the Centaurs gets off the map to safety. One shattered, therefore it is dead. This one... oh, this is not the same one. Well, it shattered anyway. So two Centaurs have shattered, but I lost track of which one had routed multiple times. Now the Beastmen are trying to hold it together. Sipa is way up on damage value. Balance of power is 50-50, because again, the Beastmen army did have more funds to spend. This Chaos Spawn is about dead. Two Forsaken are on their way out. But regardless of how this goes, the Beastmen army is down 2 Centaurs. A third one off, but if you get off the map without shattering, you're fine. That's going to be a bad Pit of Shades. Oh, God, it's Pit of Shades. Is it Overcast? That looks like Undercast damage to me. Still a good Pit of Shades. Not Overcast. Wait, you actually did dating sim streams? Yeah, they were hilarious. We did a couple, like, here and there for fun, but, yeah. No, they were great. That's the joke. We're all cringe here. Seductive Glory is out, rampaging these guys into bad situations as Hellstriders pile in with the Forsaken, the Princes of Perfection. The Beastmen are trying to fight their way out of a bad situation, but have they gone too far? Is Nakari the end of the Beastmen menace? It looks like it might be, as they're fully surrounded. They're trying to get out. Doom and Darkness, Overcast tries to take out the Hellstriders, tries to get rid of these Forsaken. And this is maybe their last hope, as the Keeper of Secrets might have overextended in the middle of all these Minotaurs and Pestigors and all this stuff. Maybe they can get her, but the Eye of Morsleep and Malagor are a lot of the balance of power, and they can't clear out all this stuff. Slaanesh, a bottom tier faction? Nay! Nay, says I! Hellstriders chasing down the Pestigors, chasing down the Ungor Raiders, though I don't think it matters. Definitely Slaanesh is up. And it looks like our King of the Hill will finally be defeated. After, what was it? I think he had 8 victories. Olaf didn't show up. No, I think he won 7 times. This would be the 8th game, because Sipa replaced Olaf, and that would be the original 8. Everybody's routing besides Malagor and the Eye of Morsleep, and it is doomed. But Malagor and his Eye, he and his loyal prophet, are attempting to at least kill the Keeper on the way out. Turn that off so I can see him. Look at him holding his skinned potato. He's just looking for the right soup bowl to put it in. That's all he wants. That's all he wants out of life. But yeah, the Beastmen are getting run down. I'll catch up with chat. Time for a second channel dating sims? Easy. I think he's taken by Ska, no end. Can we raid TL at the end of the stream? Who's TL? Tactical Lich? Oh, is he streaming right now? I'd raid him for sure if he's streaming right now. Some people say Slaanesh always wants to come out on top. It's true. It's true. These guys are slowly getting poked down. I'm looking for Tactical Lich. Oh, Empires of the Undergrowth. Okay, Lich isn't playing Total War. Which... I'll preface that by telling you you're not... We'll rate Tactical Lich because he does do Total Warhammer content from time to time, and he's a good lad. But where I'm rating you is not Total War Warhammer. It's a different game he's playing. Forsaken of Slaanesh did some cleaving, did some dreaming. Pigman had a good run, but Malagor and his boys died on the ice fighting Slaanesh before they get back to the Tower of Hoeth, where, if it helps, if it makes you feel better, at the Tower of Hoeth, Teclis had used his time well and rallied Tyrion. Rallied Tyrion and a whole bunch of elves, and they were definitely waiting for the Beastmen to return. So I don't know if Malagor would have had a good time regardless, but the Crowman did do Crowman things. Alright. That was Gladiator. Short, sweet, and to the point. Hope you all had fun. I will be ending this soon. Let's just go through the weekly plan and then raid Tactical Lich. Though Lich is not doing Warhammer content, so if you don't want to be raided there, that is understandable. Tuesday, the 11th, I have a new player tournament stream I'm doing. Wednesday, Tactical Lich has a Warhammer stream, so I'm not going to stream that day to not overlap with him. The weekend, I don't know if I have a stream or not. My brother is flying in for the wedding, so I was going to hang out with him for a bit. And then Sunday is Father's Day in the United States, so I'll probably be going to my hometown and visiting my dad and stepdad. So this week, I have one guaranteed stream on the 11th. I'll probably find time to do another one, either the 13th or 14th or something. So we'll have some streams. Daily video as usual. Yeah. So subscribe if you haven't done that already. If you want more fun content like this. If you don't want more fun content like this, then dude, fuck you. What? Why are you here if you don't want fun content like this? Oh. Alright. Raid. Tactical Lich. Save. And I'll be sending you over there now. Don't forget to send my daily warpstone supply. I got you, Lamb Sauce. I got you. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.